And with that, it is my pleasure to welcome our 2011 class orator, Mike Danahy.
Thanks, Maddie. I was kind of hoping for a ridiculously oversized chair like the Dalai Lama got, but no luck. I'm still one up on Bill Clinton though because I got protesters. I don't know if you guys saw him out there last year. That was funny. While preparing this speech, I really tried to put my Colgate education to use. And looking back on our 4 years, you may have noticed that our university lays out a pretty wonderful template for a good speech. There's a pretty consistent order of business one must follow when addressing Colgate students in particular. It goes something like this. Step 1, encourage the Colgate hello. 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 Step 2, make a corny comment on how crazy the weather is in Hamilton. Good thing that rain stopped, eh? Otherwise, we'd have to call it Whitnall Pond. Check. Step 3, organize speech into steps. Done. Step 4, as demonstrated by Dean Lowe in her famous orientation speech, connect with specific audience members in order to embarrass or elicit an entertainingly awkward response from them. So I'd like to wish a big happy birthday to Steph Arditi. Step 5, give credit where credit is due, and as well as some extra ambiguous thanks. So thanks to Building and Grounds, thanks to class council, sincerely, thanks to Sodexo, thanks to campus safety for keeping those protesters at bay, thanks to the cruiser driver, many of us wouldn't be here without you, thanks to the architect at Frank Dining Hall, for putting the bathroom outside the check-in counter and giving hundreds of students a false sense of security while trying to sneak in. Thanks to the Office of Residential Life for annually believing my lie that I was a varsity athlete and allowing me to move in a month early for preseason. Thank you to the core curriculum and the distribution requirements for teaching generations of Colgate students that no matter how smart you think you are, there's at least one discipline that you totally suck at. Step 6 in a good speech. Intrigue your listeners with relevant statistics. So I checked out the Colgate Campus Life Survey, from which I will completely fabricate interesting statistics. 75% of students do not know where Ryan Hall is located. 90% of students have stolen from the coop. Every semester, students spend a combined $3,000 on books that will never be opened, and upon returning them, receive a combined total of $28. 26% of students have lied to get out of parking tickets. 90% of students cannot tell the difference between a Mary Special and a Joanne Special. As a class, we have ordered over 100,000 slices, which is enough to cover the surface of the moon. And 15 students in this room have tried to order slices other than plain only. Finally, step 7, wrap up the speech with an intellectual quote that summarizes your point. The truth is, the first speech I wrote actually followed this rhythm pretty closely. But I thought it doesn't make sense to do things the same way we've been doing them here for the last 4 years. It doesn't make sense because we're different people now. We've come out the end of this educational experience changed. College has changed us. Time has changed us. But how? What makes us different sitting here today than we were 4 years ago, sitting in the chapel, listening to a parade of administrators bid us hello. Imagine, if you can, sitting in that chapel late August 2007. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. That is, if after questioning the real authority of a link, you got yourself out of bed and went to orientation. I was one of the many guilted into it, but sitting in that pew, I was ready to do all the crazy, adventurous, ridiculous things that our siblings and friends told us about, or all the things that we learned about in info sessions and tours about Colgate. But here we are 4 years later, and I have to say my college experience turned out a whole lot different than the Mike Danahy of fall 2007 imagined it would. I didn't say hello to everyone I passed, with the exception of a few nights in the jug. I didn't steal a Frank tray to go sledding every time it snowed. Of the laser system's 500,000 volumes that I thought would contribute to my elite education, I think I used it one time to rent Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. I didn't respond to 90% of the emails I signed up for at freshman year activities fair, which I'm still receiving. My trips to the gym have slowly dwindled to biannual events, and I have never jumped in Taylor Lake, but keep your eyes peeled on May 15th. The list of things first year me thought would make up my college experience, for the most part, did not happen. But that's because the things that did make my Colgate career what it was were so amazing that they couldn't possibly have been foreseen. I may not have said hello to every person, but the hellos I did say were sincere. I may not have gone sledding on a Frank tray, but snowshoeing out to the yurt and spending a night with my best friends in the woods isn't an opportunity available to most college students, and it's not something I'll soon forget. The laser system didn't make me smarter, by any means, but it helped out on a cold night of procrastination, no matter how bad the movie was. And even though I uselessly remained on a number of email chains for the clubs I couldn't find the time for, the clubs I was involved in changed my life. If this experience is any indication of what lies ahead, then I say, bring it on, which is also a very educational film available on Expect great happiness in your life. And then expect that happiness to come about in completely unexpected ways. The world, like us, is constantly changing. And will never treat us the way that we quite anticipate. But life and college have taught us to stay on our toes and be prepared for this fast-paced world. As Terry said, we don't have to, I hope it's okay that I use your first name, Terry. We don't have to look far for signs of change at Colgate University. In our first year alone, we saw the addition of 2 new buildings, as Ben said, to our most beautiful campus, the Host Science Center and Case Library. We also saw the advent of our beloved monthly rag. This year we saw the opening of Trudy Fitness Center and had the added entertainment of watching Colgate's freshly inaugurated president work off some slices at 6 a.m. Well done. We saw Grand Union close faster than you can say Price Chopper. We said goodbye to Wise Buys and warmly welcomed Hackett's, which quickly fell to the immense power of fashion craze. We all quickly forgot about whatever that Italian place was in favor of shuffleboard at Rush's, and most recently we've seen bare shelves at Rogers. Even outside this Colgate bubble, though, our generation has witnessed some of the greatest changes in history. We will be able to say to our grandchildren that we were alive when ... for a million different things. We were alive when airplanes stopped serving bad food and started serving no food. We were alive when vampires and werewolves were scary instead of sexy. We survived Y2K. We saw the start of 2 wars and the turmoil of our teen years. We elected the first American president of color. We survived our earliest years with no internet, later welcomed the screeching sounds of dial-up, then quickly adapted to a world that expects you to have internet in your pocket at all times. We also survived Colgate's snow day of 2011. The first 2 decades of our lives have been filled with big events and big changes that have prepared us all for the road that lies ahead. But I hope that in 60 years you aren't telling your grandchildren about the changes you saw. I hope you're telling your grandchildren about the changes you made, and the changes that made you. Colgate has given us the tools to do great things, but I think more importantly, Colgate has given us the versatility to succeed in this world no matter what it throws at us. Colgate University did not make me happy in any of the ways I expected, but it made me happier than I ever could have expected. I hope life serves us the same way. Welcome the challenges that face you. Be confident you have what it takes to persist. Pursue your passions and expect your passions to change. To close, I thought I'd return to the traditional Colgate speech template by choosing an appropriate quote. As an English major, it is my job to be able to spout off inspiring literary quotes for a variety of different events and situations. Unfortunately, that job is unpaying, so if you have available. But I really struggled to find something that I felt suited this scenario, this place, this time, this group of people. And then I found one. I didn't need to search through Whitman or Dickens or Lombardi or Google. I found it written on the cover of the composition notebook in which I was writing this speech. The notebook says, shortly and simply, college ruled. Thank you all, my classmates. It takes a special type of person to want to go to school in upstate New York in the middle of the woods, and I just hope that that adventurous spirit follows you wherever you go. Thanks a lot.